All right, let's talk about tonight's build. I got 3070 on deck. So I bought an Asus Dual RTX 3070 for tonight's build. Let me show you what it looks like. This is the GPU that we're using tonight. It is an Asus Dual RTX 3070. I bought it used on eBay. The problem is that we are doing an all-white build. Yeah, ugly. Exactly. We're doing an all-white build. That's clearly not going to work. So this is what I did the last 2 days. Oh my God. Oh, how good did this turn out? Oh my God. This is that. This is that, man. Oh, I am so excited about this. I know if you've done this before, then you're probably looking at this like, okay, cool, Zach. Like, everyone has done that. It is not that big of a deal. But believe it or not, I got multiple videos coming out about this. I filmed the whole thing. I have literally never done the full process, everything, of disassembling a GPU so I could paint it. I have used GPUs in the past where it's either easy to remove the shroud or like corners of the shroud without actually having to disassemble the entire thing. For most GPUs, if you want to paint the shroud and then especially the backplate, you have to disassemble the whole thing. Where the thermal pads are exposed, you got to re-thermal paste it. It's a whole project. I have actually never done that before. I've been building PCs my entire life. This is my first time. So I filmed the whole thing, documented it for you guys. We got multiple videos coming out. I did make one mistake, which I have an entire dedicated video to that I filmed today, about the one mistake I made. But this is how it turned out. I'm super happy about it, man. I think it looks so good. We have not tested if it actually works yet, so we're gonna find that out tomorrow. Hopefully it all works. Hopefully I built it correctly back together. This is what it looks like when it's fully disassembled. You got like 3 main parts, basically. The back plate up there. This is the actual PCB with the chip. That was the stock thermal paste on there. And then this is the heatsink. These are the stock thermal pads and whatnot. I mean, if you want to do something like this, you got to fully take that thing apart. And then this is what the new thermal pads look like after I replaced it. These are some Arctic thermal pads, looking very nice and clean there. I tried to make it look nice, you know. And then the final product is this guy. I'm super happy about this, man. How many people have done this before? Type the number of GPUs you've done this before, whether it's for painting or for re-thermal pasting and thermal padding. How many GPUs have you guys done this for? 0, 0, 3, 1, 200, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 1, 20? Hundreds? 10 plus? Yeah, I would say a lot of people are at 0, 3, or a significant amount. I'm at 1. I am at 1. This was numero uno for the proper start to finish thing. It wasn't difficult. I did watch some video, like I knew the process in my head just from watching so many videos over the years of other people doing it. Before I did it, I did watch a few videos like back to back to really like, okay, this is where like these screws are going to be, look out for these cable connectors, etc. I feel like now that I've done that, I feel like I could do it with any GPU without researching. I know some GPUs are more difficult than others. I feel like I have the fundamental of it down now though. But yeah, I mean, very cool process. I'm glad that I, as a PC building content creator, have finally taken apart a GPU and done the whole thing. Let's just hope I go 1 for 1 on it actually working. So today we're building a $600-ish gaming PC featuring a used component. which we'll talk about in just a second. But for $600, I still think we're at the point where AM4, unless if you're doing like some sort of super specific build, I think AM4 is still the best option. So for the CPU, we're going with none other than a tried and tested Ryzen 5 5600 from no place else than AliExpress. Now, I will say, I bought this before the whole tariffs thing like started really going down. As of right now, if you buy this, I just checked like yesterday, if you buy a CPU from Amazon, or I'm sorry, from AliExpress for like $75, which I think is what I paid, 74 for this, it'll show you that it's like $100 on a tariff or whatever the shipping fee is. Obviously, don't pay for that. Hopefully that goes away here soon because of the updated policies and whatnot. But either way, you can get the 5600 from Amazon for super cheap. I don't like spending more money on AM4 2025. Like we're getting mid 2025 these days. But for $600, if you go AM5, you're just not gonna have any money for a good GPU. So if you want the best performance right now, then AM4 at this price range is still the better option. But if you want the best future proofing, then AM5 would obviously be a better choice. For the cooler, this is also custom painted, but this isn't nearly as special since this is like my 300th time doing it or something. This is just a stock Ryzen cooler that I painted the shroud to. Multiple videos about how to do that if you're interested. That is no longer super special. This is kind of special. This is another AliExpress little Easter egg here. Who knows? Do you even know what the brand is from looking at this? I will say that this is a popular AliExpress motherboard manufacturer. Actually, I think they sell on Amazon too. Who knows what this is? No, it's not ASRock. No. This is way less legit than ASRock. Yes, Machinist. This is a Machinist B450. I don't know. I will be transparent. I don't know a lot about Machinist. I'm sorry if I am speaking incorrectly here. But from what I know, I feel like Machinist is one of the most popular AliExpress motherboard manufacturers. Somebody said, yeah, Max Sun is another one, and the one that starts with a J. Not even going to attempt to pronounce it. I've seen those a lot. No CMOS battery? Oh, is that a thing? So, oh, that's crazy that you said that. I don't know if these motherboards are known. This is a beautiful, super budget, all-white motherboard. I don't know if do they all come without one? My videographer at the office was recording this today, and he noticed that it did not come with a CMOS battery. So he went and found one in the office and put it in there earlier today. But yeah, do they not all? Oh, it's illegal to ship a battery from China. Okay. All right, so it's not a Machinist thing. Just an AliExpress motherboard thing. Yeah, obviously this is a very budget motherboard. We have zero bells and whistles, no cooling, no beefy heatsink on the VRMs, only 2 RAM slots, which is definitely a big downfall. I did buy 32 gigs of RAM though, I think. Yeah, I did buy 32 gigs of RAM, so that shouldn't be a problem. We only have 1 NVMe slot. This is ultra budget. Whenever I buy budget B450 motherboards, I usually buy... I put an extra backplate in there. I didn't know if it came with one. It did. I usually buy a much better motherboard than this. But for this project specifically, I have to spend a little bit extra money to get the white aesthetic. And I wanted as much money as possible for the GPU budget. Which, like I said, we will talk about in just a bit. So that is the motherboard. Just going to prep that now while we have it. For the SSD, this is my trusty standard Clev Crass C910, 1 terabyte Gen 4. We're not going to be able to take the Gen 4 speeds, but Gen 4 is the same price as Gen 3 these days, so you might as well go with Gen 4. This does not come with the heat shield pre-installed, but you can just put it on there. our motherboard definitely does not have a built-in heatsink. So we're gonna be installing that little guy on there. And then for RAM, this is a Pinnacle Conduit 32 gigabyte DDR4 kit. This is clocked at 3200 megahertz and a CL16 rating. This has been one of my go-to DDR4 kits for a while. Just super solid. It's usually one of the cheapest or most affordable all-white DDR4 kits. I haven't done a DDR4 build for a little bit, but for white ones, that's usually the cheapest. For power supplies, this was just a really good deal. This was from Raid Max. This is a Cobra Power 650 watt. It's actually on the new ATX 3.1 standard. It has a 12 volt high power connector, which we don't need. And it is rated tier C on the PSU tier list, which tier C for a build like this is the least of our worries. This was only $39 on a crazy Newegg sale. This is my last one. I think I bought like 7 of them or so. This is the last one that I have. So gone are those fun times. Also going to be plugging in some Okinos all white cable extensions. These look beautiful. These are 16 gauge, which I'm happy about. That these are only $16 per gauge, I guess. And then for the graphics card, which we already talked about, but if you didn't see, this is an Asus Dual RTX 3070. I paid $265 for this, used off of eBay. Again, if you missed it, that is what it looked like. Black and silver. And this is what it looks like now. I did the full disassembly, spray painted the back plate and the GPU shroud, reapplied the thermal paste, redid all the thermal pads, and hopefully it works. Aesthetically, it turned out amazing. Super happy with this. The reason why I did the whole reason for this project was I couldn't find a single good white GPU deal for a build like this. With $600 to spend, you probably have anywhere from $200 to $300 for a GPU. And I didn't want to go with just another white brand new RX 6600. This is way better priced performance, more performance. I just couldn't find a single white graphics card. Like, the used GPU deals are pretty dry at the moment. So I was like, now is a perfect time to finally learn how to do this, disassemble the full thing, paint it up, and it was worth it. I'm really happy with how that turned out. AMD, I couldn't find anything for AMD, like a white 6700 XT used. I was even looking at white 6650 XT used. You know, I couldn't find, at the time I was buying parts for this build, which was probably 3 weeks ago now, maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago. Couldn't find a single white GPU on a good used deal. So yeah, that's why we went with that. And then finally, the last part is our case. Who knows? This is brand new. Who knows what this is? I'll be surprised if you guys know about this. This is brand new. This is the new Okinos Mirage 4. This costs about $70 on Amazon. This is upgraded. This is their upgraded Aqua 3. So the Aqua 3 was the standard fish tank, but it was not dual chambered. This is now dual chambered. So we're gonna have a ton of room for easy cable management. The Aqua 3 was also negative airflow. It had 2 fans up at the top as exhaust and 1 fan in the back. This one now has intake fans at the bottom for positive airflow and then 1 exhaust. So it's still, both versions did not have like the typical fans right here for fish tanks or like up at the front, obviously, but they moved it so the intake fans are now at the bottom and you have room for a full 240 AIO at the top if you wanted it. This is the new Mirage 4. I actually have a pre-roll ad coming out about this very soon. But yeah, I'm super excited. I haven't touched it yet. I'm very, very excited to use it. Check it out. I've been a big fan, as you guys know, of all the Okinos affordable cases. We're not going to be able to take advantage of the USB-C port because of our motherboard. But yeah, we will check it out. Okay, here we go. Zoom in a little bit. This is a this is a tiny machinist B450 motherboard. All right. I haven't built A PC for a while, but B, much less an AM4 build. I feel like it's been a minute. Got our Ryzen 5 5600 right there. Let me get a quick little extra B-roll shot for my... Dude, that looks good, actually. Let me get my hand out of the way. It's actually a pretty solid B-roll shot, man. There we go. All right, now he has one more shot to use for the video. We're gonna install that right here. For AM4, you're looking for that gold arrow, which is, I think, always gonna be in that top left corner. Seat that down in there. I felt all the pins connect and feels pretty solid. Gonna lower that latch. No pressure on the AM4, unlike AM5. Way less terrifying latching that down. Now we're gonna get our conduit RAM sticks here. This is a 32 gigabyte DDR4 kit, sorry. DDR4 kit, clocked at 3200 megahertz. Another B-roll shot real quick. The AM4 CPUs look so clean. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say a CPU looks clean, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. We're gonna install that like so. Make sure we match up that notch. There's a notch that is not perfectly in the center, so you can't mess it up. Match that up with the notch that is on the RAM stick right here. Usually, especially on AM4, a budget motherboard with only 2 RAM slots is definitely a downfall because there's no room to expand. That's one of the reasons why I got a 32 gigabyte kit. I also think that 32 gigabytes is just the standard in 2025 at this point. Just spit on the CPU, no big deal. Now we'll give it a little... Oh my god. Oh wait, oh, we might have an issue here. Hold on. Check out this right wiggle versus the left wiggle. I don't know how much you can tell on camera, but that right one is wiggling way more than the left one. Wow, oh my god, it's way more. Wow, uneven. See, we're learning something new about this whole RAM wiggle test every day. Every time we do this, we're learning something new. This is the most uneven wiggle. Oh my god, that's crazy. I mean, that first slot is in there pretty solid. But that one at the bottom really wiggles, man. Oh, that is wild. Okay, that's definitely a first. The more you know. Dude, we're gonna learn so much about RAM wiggle stability. And hopefully I know at some point, just clip this now, that way I have the clip later to use. I know at some point doing these RAM wiggle tests, something's gonna break. Probably the RAM slot might snap off the motherboard. Something will happen at some point. I'm just saying it now. It was worth it. Because we are getting a ton of data wiggling. That's crazy different, man. We're getting a ton of data wiggling all of these RAM sticks, and I think it's super fascinating, man. Yeah, no idea why this one is uneven wiggledness. YouTube short, always wiggle your RAM. No, I definitely don't recommend anybody else wiggle their RAM. This is something that I am doing for content, and so you guys don't have to wiggle your RAM. If it was possible to get the statistic of how many people have wiggled their RAM ever since we started doing that, oh man, I would pay. I would pay for that data. Okay, so just making sure the orientation is correct. With this Clevcraft C910, it does not come with this little heat shield installed, which I really like. Because again, if the motherboard has a built-in heat shield or heat sink, then you don't have to use this. But since our motherboard does not, I'm going to install this. And it also lets you, if the motherboard is for some reason inverted, you could put it the correct orientation so you never have to worry about an upside down SSD, which just looks silly. I wish every SSD manufacturer did this. Ones that did not require a beefy heatsink. So now that that's in there, we can put the... Actually, before I do that, let me get a screwdriver and take out our one SSD screw. Case wiggle? CPU wiggle? Well, I always do a CPU wiggle. Or I do a CPU wiggle on AM5. AM4, it's not really necessary. But on AM5, I give the CPU a wiggle every single time, man. I mean, you got to make sure that that CPU is sitting in there. Yeah, that one's mandatory. All right, there we go. SSD is installed. Let me switch this bit out for our CPU cooler now. Then we'll be good. We need a wiggle tier list. I know, I really should be documenting all of this data we have. Somebody needs to go back and look at all the ZTT streams of the last like month or two and compile a list. Okay. We got that. Now we just need some thermal paste. I think it's this top box. This is one of my supply boxes for PC building that I 3D printed. Some Gridfinity action. Yes, I opened up the right one. I always forget which thermal paste is actually open. This one. It's got to be this one. It's got to be this one. This is some HY510. This is a humongous tube of thermal paste. I show this every time, but for reference, this is what a normal tube of thermal paste looks like. We like to buy in bulk around here. One of my employees bought like 10 of these or something, and we haven't needed thermal paste in... I honestly think that was like 2 years ago. It was such a long time ago. But we've been good on thermal paste ever since. Where's the yeaster paste? We also have like 10 tubes of yeaster paste. I have yet to bring that home. Okay, that's a pretty big P, but that'll work. I have yet to bring the thermal paste, the yeaster paste home. Whenever he came to the office, it was really nice. He gave like, I don't know, he probably brought like 20 things of yeaster paste, and I gave one to every employee so that they could take it home and use it on their own personal builds and whatnot, and then we just kept the rest at ZTT. I have yet to bring one of those home, though. They're all at the office. Oh, before I do this, I gotta uninstall these bridges. That is probably the ugliest looking thermal paste pea-sized dot that I've done in quite some time. That's a pretty bad one. It will get the job done, though. Do you plan on getting the connectorless 5090 from your short? No. I mean, if they sent it to me, I'd be okay with it, but no, I'm definitely not going to buy that. No plastic shield. We're good to go. Gonna press that down. Star pattern, of course, to evenly apply that pressure, and then as soon as I get this done, I'll review that alert. Did you change the orientation? Yes, I already did that ahead of time. The top of the stock cooler is up there. Yep. I did all the prep work before the stream. Too loud? Yeah. Should I turn it up? Numpty with the 1,000 biddy says, "Did you catch the last F1 race?" No, dude. No, I didn't. I was on vacation. I haven't watched it yet. No. I haven't watched it yet, man. Imola. So Numpty, you might know this, but Imola is the. I almost said the map, not the map. The oh my god, the racetrack that Formula One did last weekend. And for those of you that have been watching ZTT long enough, Imola was the first race when I became an F1 fan last year. I'm a brand new Formula One fan. Last year when they were at Imola is that's when I became a sim racing fan and a Formula One fan. When I first got my very first sim rig, I was firing up Assetto Corsa, and I got like some of the Formula One mods for it, and I was like, what track do I race at? And I looked up Formula One, and I was like, oh, they're racing at Imola in like a week and a half or something. So I just like mastered that track, and it was the first track that I memorized, like without having to use a racing line and whatnot. So I'm super excited to watch that Formula One race. All right, where are we at? Did I finish this? I think I got them all. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's good. Okay. The motherboard prep. Dude, this actually looks pretty good. This is looking pretty good. This is the motherboard prepped and ready to go. We have a super budget AliExpress B450 machinist motherboard, a Ryzen 5 5600 also from AliExpress, a stock Ryzen cooler with the painted shroud. We got some Pinnacle conduit 32 gigabyte DDR4 kit clocked at 3200 megahertz, and we have a 1 terabyte Clev Crass C910 Gen 4 NVMe on there. Not bad. I feel like most of the EVGA cards look mid. So here's the deal. If you say something like that, you're probably going to catch a little heat. Most people love EVGA, especially now that they're gone. I have always thought that the aesthetics of most EVGA cards were overrated. Okay. We got to plug this in and plug this in. Somehow I lost the... Did this come with... Okay. Whew. Cable combs. We need cable combs. What song is the cheer because it's fire? Just search for the Max Verstappen song. That's all you need to know. Max Verstappen is a Formula One driver. And that's like... I don't know where it originated from, but that is the Max Verstappen song. I think that's all you need to know. We'll get some of those. Some of these. That should be enough. Did those come with a case? The cable extensions? No. No, good question, because they're both Okinos. No. No, these are two separate products. The Okinos cable extensions and the Okinos Mirage 4 case. No, they're separate. I came for the drinks. That's valid too. Still strongly considering a second beer. For those of you that have been sipping tonight, how many beverages have you guys had so far during the stream? Type the number in chat if you've drinking a toasty beverage tonight to celebrate Thirsty Thursday. How many beverages have you guys had? 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 0, 2, 3, 6? Is that real? 2 would put me to sleep. 10? No. Coffee? I normally go with 4. I'm usually a one and done kind of person these days. I mean, dude, I'm either in or approaching my mid-30s, depending on who you ask. And I'm like a 1 beer. Honestly, 1.5 beers have been perfect for me. But I hate wasting beer, so I usually go to 2. If they would sell like 6-ounce little mini beers, like they have like mini Coke cans and whatnot. Oh, I would love that. I need like 1.5. That's perfect for me. 2 for the night. I took a small zip an hour ago. There you go. Oh, August says I sent the 3D print file, by the way. August, was that you that did this? The 3D print file for the GPU? I'll look for your message, August. Was that you? Yes? Nice. Thank you very much, man. I talk very highly of you. I still do not know exactly what you did. But, I mean, I literally just threw away my stack of failed GPU brackets there, or panels. I probably printed that thing like 10 times, and it just did not come out right. And then as soon as you sent me the print profile, it was just absolutely perfect. Okay, we don't need cable combs for that one. Yeah, super impressive, man. That was very helpful. Right now I'm just cutting some cable combs so I can get a perfectly sized 8+8 or 4+4 to combine both the GPU power cables. Like that. Now I have the 8s there instead of 2 separate 4+4s. Or, I'm sorry, 6+2 as well. I bet you could print those cable combs. You definitely can print cable combs. I'm glad you said that. I need a little bit more motivation to start doing that myself. I have printed them before, but I actually never used them yet. I need to print a bunch of these custom sized ones. Like just a bunch of black ones, a bunch of white ones, and then just keep that in stock, ready to go. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. I definitely need to do that. That way I just have them ready to go. How does that work when using the 12 volt power? Well, we're not using a 12 volt. They do have, if you buy cable extensions for a 12 volt, it will come with a special... Oh my god, did I cut that the wrong size? Oh my god, I did. Oh my god, did I do that twice? Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I cut it the wrong size. That is awful. What a waste. We do have extras though, I think. I think I got extras in this bag. I can't believe I cut that wrong. Yeah, a 12 volt extension kit will come with extras. Yes, thank goodness. And actually this is good because I need more than 2. I think we'll want 3. Okay, let's not mess this up this time. Extra cable combs on deck. When you care about aesthetics, you gotta have backup options. Okay. How did I mess that up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to cut it right here. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know how I messed that up last time twice. What was I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's mind-boggling. Have a beer for messing that up? That's what I'm thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, the solution might be more beer, right? There we go. I mean, there's no other logical explanation for that kind of mess up. All right. Now we can re-cable comb this. Verify I didn't mess this up this time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking with fire. There we go. You should watch sprint car racing. It is not like NASCAR. Okay, yeah. Sorry if this offends you, but I thought sprint car racing was NASCAR. I do not know what the difference is. Should I? I could have sworn I heard people call NASCAR sprint car. Is that... that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. What time does the stream end? Whenever the build's over. Or after the build, we usually do like a little Q&A. But it's different every time, man. I don't turn the stream off till we finish it, though. And we have not even got the case out yet, so we got a good bit to go here. All right, there we go. That is looking much better. The whole point of that is so we have a nice clean cable presentation. Probably want to drop that down a little bit more. Instead of having two separate strands of the 6+2, now we just have one solid strand there, which will look much better. So with that, our power supply prep is done. This is going to be a lot of cables to hide because this is a non-modular power supply, but it is a dual chambered case, so cable management should not be too much of an issue. Should not be. That PC case looks fire. This is the brand new Okinos Mirage 4. Costs about $70 on Amazon. Fish tank, dual chambered, which is what I'm really excited to test out. And it comes with 2 RGB fans at the bottom for intake and 1 in the back for exhaust for a positive airflow setup. And then it does have room for a 240 AIO up at the top. But yeah, we're about to test this out, man. This is what the starting point looks like. Oh, hold on. There we go. This is what the starting point looks like. Oh, very nice. We got the hub. We have a 4-port ARGB hub, which is amazing because if you were to add a CPU cooler that had an ARGB fan, you could just install it right to here, which is fantastic. Like, there are $100 cases that don't do this. Love to see it. It also has USB-C, which we will not be able to take advantage of, unfortunately, because we have a budget B450 motherboard. I do love that these cables are all painted white, or not painted, but they are white. HD audio, that's usually a super ugly cable. The power switch, even the internal, look at this. Even the internal side of the USB 3.0 connector is all white. I mean, that looks super sick. We do have a lot of cables, but again, it's dual chambered. Our power supply is going to go here, but we should have plenty of room to route some cables. We also have some pre-installed. Dude, this is a solid case, man. I don't mean to... Oh, man. All right. Got my IO shield here. Install that. Shout out from a gym bro. I saw your pics in the fitness channel looking absolutely shredded for summer, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. We're trying, man. We're trying. Down 36 pounds. Trying to get lean. Got a couple beach vacations this year. Gonna be going up to Lake Erie. Hopefully several times this year for the little day trip, beach trips. And honestly, I've been after we gotta switch out some. I gotta switch out one standoff here. After being so heavy at 240 pounds, like I actually feel. I know this is obvious, but I feel so much healthier. Like my seasonal allergies are like barely affecting me. Last year was so bad. When I was like really bulked up, my seasonal allergies were so bad. I have a little psoriasis, like dry skin on my scalp. That's not near, it's still bad, but it's not nearly as bad. I feel like I recover from like all the colds that my 5 and 3-year-old bring home from daycare. I recover from those or don't get them way better. Like when you're lean and healthy and in good cardio shape and whatnot, like your body just performs so much better. Again, I know this is obvious, but it's so true. So true. Feels much better. Okay, what are we doing here? I need to move this standoff from here to here because we are using a tiny case, or sorry, a tiny motherboard. So I just got to move that real quick. Sunlight helps with psoriasis. Yeah, I mean, I don't get as much sunlight as I would like to. You go to Erie a lot? I'm from Syracuse. I mean, during like the 20 days of good weather here in Pennsylvania, we try to go up to Erie for like weekend beach trips as much as we can. From Pittsburgh, it is a very short drive, and I know it's not the greatest beach out there, but for a quick 2-hour drive, I absolutely love it. The kids love it, especially. Yeah, I mean, but we don't get a lot of good summer weather here, especially in Erie. It's even worse. So we usually only make it up like 3 times a year, maybe, or 3 times a summer, I would say. But how's the build going? Pretty smoothly so far. We're about to get into the slightly more complicated section, but all looks good so far. Zach thinks PA is bad. I'm from Oregon. I mean, first off, that's the definition of one-upping, just as a heads up. Pittsburgh objectively has, I think it's the top 3 most overcast/rainy cities in the United States. Like, it's really bad. I'm pretty sure I read that it was top 3. I understand that Oregon is worse, but that does not make Pittsburgh any less bad, man. When people say, oh, it's hot, and then they're like, oh, you think it's hot? I live in the desert. That's the definition of one-upping. People don't like that, man. Have you played Marvel Rivals at all? I mean, I played it when it first came out. And, like, when everybody was playing it, I was playing it a little bit, not a lot. It was fun. I'm not a big fan of hero shooters, like with spells and abilities and whatnot. I just don't play. I just don't play games often enough to get good at those type of games where you have to have a lot of knowledge to be good. If I want to play like a competitive shooter, I'd rather play a game where the only like knowledge is like the map. You know, I just don't have enough gaming time to get good at those types of games, unfortunately. But I liked it. It was okay. Master with a 5-month Twitch Prime resub. Thank you, man. What's the update on the GPU shortage? I don't think it's any different than 3 weeks ago. If you want to buy a mid-range up to like a 5080 of the new cards, I think they are doable. It's not impossible anymore. You gotta have some patience. You gotta snipe a good deal on Amazon or Newegg or whatever. Or if you live near a Micro Center. 5090s are still tough. Almost every card is at least buyable if you have patience right now. We're not gonna get cards at MSRP. But like $50 above MSRP, I mean, that was normal. Like, that was pre-GPU shortage. 5700 X3D worth it right now? I would not build a brand new PC with a 5700 X3D. I would, however, consider it if you have like a 5500 or a 3600 and you have a decent motherboard. If you're already on AM4 and you just want to maximize your build a little bit without having to do like a full swap, then yeah, the 5700 X3D is still a really good CPU. But I would not invest that level of money into a new AM4 build. At that point, I would recommend going AM5. All right, now we're gonna plug in some case connectors, which dude, that looks good, man. That motherboard in there, that looks clean. Let's get some HD audio action. That looks real good. Is the 5500 XT a good budget GPU? Like in a vacuum, it's not bad. Like by itself, it's not a terrible. I mean, it is a budget GPU, like you said. I don't think it ever like really beats like some of the more meta choices, unless if you happen to find a really good deal. It is not a card that I specifically target. All right, let's keep plugging this stuff in. I love this USB. This USB 3.0 connector is so good. Not just white on the outside, but even the internal connector is all white. That looks so good. Not that we'll see it, but it still looks really good. Low key looks kind of clean. I mean, that's the whole point of it, man. It's not really low key. This is not a pure performance build. This is a $600. I mean, it's gonna have pretty good price to performance with the 3070. But we are definitely not afraid of the aesthetics on this one. How do you install the OS? I have multiple YouTube shorts and TikToks about that. If that's not good enough for you, if you need like pure step-by-step, then I'd just search for a long-form video. It's not complicated. Plug in but I do not have a long-form step-by-step video like that. Plugging in the power LED and power switch connectors. Again, they're all white, super clean. There we go. Definition of a case bottleneck. A case bottleneck? Okay, everything is plugged in as far as the case goes. Looking super clean. This is what it looks like so far. We obviously have a big rat's nest back here. That is going to happen, especially with a dual chamber case and with all these RGB connections and whatnot. But we will try to make this a little cleaner. I don't really care too much because again, it's dual chambered and it doesn't really matter. But I will attempt with some zip ties to make it a tad bit cleaner. All white looks good, but I still prefer all black. That's valid, that's okay. All right, let's, I'm just gonna bundle up just some random cables and see what happens. Again, cable management in a dual chamber case is very low stakes. It doesn't really matter because like you have all this room back here. We do want to set aside this connector though. This SATA power. But like as far as this whole thing goes, like, I mean, I guess I could bundle this up a little bit. I'm just not terribly worried about it. I'm also not that good at cable managing a dual chamber case. Like, I don't really know where to put things. I kind of just do this and bundle stuff up. I feel like it never... I feel like it's really difficult, and you have to have a lot of skill to make clean cable management lines in a dual chambered case. Like you got to really plan that out. But the good thing is you don't have to have that skill if you don't want it, which I definitely do not. Are the 9800 X3Ds still going kaboom? I haven't read anything about it. I could have missed it. I haven't read anything about more 9800 X3D issues though. Have you guys? All right, here's our power supply. That's gonna go in like so. We want the fan facing outward, that way it can intake fresh air from the back side of the case. Get that lined up right there. And get our 4 cables here. Brother, I want to build a PC with the Ryzen 5 5600 and an RX 6600. Should I go with another CPU and GPU combo? Please suggest. Love from India. I have no idea what your market looks like in India, to be honest. I think that's the second most popular demographic for ZTT, though, to be honest with you. But, like, on paper and, like, the actual performance of that combination is really good for affordable 1080p gaming. I wouldn't be able to tell you from here in the United States if there's a better combo in terms of price to performance, because I don't know what your prices are. But like by itself, that CPU and GPU combo is great for like entry-level 1080p gaming. The first thing we want to do is let's bundle up the cables that we do not need, which are a lot, or is a lot, because this is a non-modular power supply. All right, let's separate that. Okay. Now we have these. So these are the cables that we don't need. This is an additional 6+2 for a CPU, which we definitely don't need. 12 volt power, which we definitely don't need. SATA power, which we do need, but we only need 1, so we don't really need to have that go anywhere. And then this is another SATA power connector. So this whole bundle right here, I can zip tie and make a little bit neater. That way all these cables don't get like scrambled in here. Just gonna zip tie this up. This can be upgraded AF? Yeah, for sure. You should make shot glasses for ZTT. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that, like, we should do. Like, there's definitely, like, money to be made. And, like, community to be satisfied. With some merch items and whatnot. It's just too low of a priority that it hasn't happened yet. The GPU shortage has really taken up most of my time these days. Is that a Type-C port? Yeah. Every budget Okinos case comes with a Type-C port. Almost no other case manufacturer is doing that. That's just a standard for Okinos cases. They all have USB-C ports, which is just crazy. What is your favorite band? Chili Peppers all day, man. My wife often mocks me for... I either listen to gym music, which is a lot of, you know, like upbeat, rock, rap, you know, hip-hop, etc. Typical gym playlists. I either listen to gym music or the Chili Peppers. Like if I'm grilling outside, if we're in the backyard and for whatever reason, I have control of the audio. Chili peppers all day, man. How many folks work for ZTT? I have 5 employees. It's 7 of us, including my wife and I, at the office. We are not hiring right now. Now, if it wasn't for the that's another thing. If it wasn't for the GPU shortage, we would have definitely hired at least one more person by now. But my biggest stress right now and priority is keeping my current employees busy so that the GPU shortage doesn't like take away from their hours. Like if we don't have PCs to build, some of my employees cannot work. You know, like there's not much to do other than building PCs, shipping them, configuring them, etc. So I'm putting all my effort into keeping them busy. I do not want the stress of more people right now. If it wasn't for the GPU supply issues, then we would have hired more. When is the next giveaway stream or Oblivion stream? Good question. Why don't you disconnect the extensions and pass it through the back? I don't know. I know a lot of people do that. It's just not my order of operations. Right now, I probably would have benefited from it. It's just not typically how I roll. Is the remote benchmarking like how they do with cloud? We don't do any, oh my God. We don't do any remote benchmarking. You can't really remote benchmark. How many of you guys saw the video of me talking about my employee who benchmarks and how he's a professional? The video was basically how he's a professional gamer since I pay him to benchmark. How many of you guys saw that video? Type a 1 in chat if you guys saw that one. It was a good video. I enjoyed making that one. You guys saw it? Professional gamer? Yeah. So, again, lack of anticipation on my part. Ever since that video, I have gotten dozens of emails. People coming for that guy's job. I had a couple people who were like, let me 1v1 this guy in Fortnite to see who gets the ZTT benchmarking job. And there's a lot of people trying to convince me with like super long paragraphs that they can do the benchmarking job remotely. I'm like, guys, no. This is an in-person job. I don't even respond to those, to be honest, but dozens of emails of people trying to become the next ZTT benchmarker. It's been hilarious. Would you hire somebody that doesn't know about computers? Probably not. I mean, if we hire like some job roles that don't require that knowledge, maybe. But it's a benefit of it. Everyone in my office knows computers to some degree. I think I'm Steam friends with everyone in the office. Yeah, because our last LAN party, we all became Steam friends. So I can see what everybody plays. Not that I'm trying to be like a creepo boss that spies on his employees, but I think it's interesting seeing what people play like outside of work and whatnot. And I mean, we talk about video games often at the office, so it's fun. It's fun when you work with people that all are somewhat remotely interested in the same thing. It's actually very fun. Okay, that's what that's looking like. So we got this big old bundle here. I mean, that's fine for right now. I'm not gonna close it up yet. We're gonna install the GPU, and I think that's really it, man. I think that's that's about everything. How old do you have to be to work for you? I mean, we don't have a hard age requirement. I would not hire a non-adult. I don't know how to. I don't know the legality of hiring somebody under 18. But B, I probably wouldn't want to regardless. being the boss, one of the benefits that I enjoy is you can hire people that you want to either A, help the culture of your business, or B, people that you just like want to hang out with every day. Like I would not hire a 16-year-old. Like I don't have anything in common with a 16-year-old, you know? Okay, all right, here's the GPU. If you missed the beginning part of the live stream, which was a while ago now, this is an Asus Dual RTX 3070. I bought this used, and I disassembled it yesterday, painted the back plate and the GPU shroud, the fan shroud, and this is what it looks like. Beautiful. It was my first time ever doing it. I've never done a complete disassemble of a GPU for paint. I reinstalled all the thermal pads. I redid the thermal paste on there. Oh man, dude, this is looking good. This is looking real good now. Very happy. Have not tested if the GPU works though. We'll do that tomorrow. Budget fake plant build guide. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's good business is not just about selling transactionally. It's about, you know, introducing a feeling to your customers. Introducing a feeling if you're making content, you know. People remember stories and feelings more than facts, you know. So when we provide a fake plan, you just get that instant vibe of a better setup. Almost everybody wants a fake plan, but you know, you might not think about it, like it's not a super high priority, but when you have one, you're gonna use it. At least that's what people tell us, and that's what we do. No, we can't get rid of that one. And that's the cheapest thing on that list. And requires the least amount of effort. Okay. That's all plugged in. That's looking good. How much time is left in the stream? Well, we're about to fire this up. Make sure it all turns on. This is what the backside cable management looks like, which honestly isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. That actually looks pretty good. We're going to install... Oh, I got a little bit of a bulge right here. Don't clip that. Yeah, we're going to have to... Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Boom, like that. And then here is the 600. Dude, that looks good. Let's go. That's the $600 Ryzen 5 5600. Let's see what it looks like. Let's turn this thing on. Ryzen 5 5600 and custom painted 3070 for about $600. That case is great. I know, man. The case is the star of the show for this one. All right, let's clear this up. Get some of these zip ties out of the way. I have no idea if this is going to turn on or not. Again, I have not tested the GPU since I did this whole project. Oh, what is that? We gotta get that. Black fan cable hiding down there. We can't have that sticking out there. There we go. All right. Power switch on. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, the fans are even spinning. Oh, let's go. There it is. That is the $600 5600 and 3070 gaming PC. Dude, that looks good, man. I am not opposed to that at all, especially for that price point. I like that. It's got the Machinist B450 on there. 32 gigs of DDR4. And AIO would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice to fill out this top part of the case, but that's an extra 50 bones at least. Dude, that's good, man. Ads, of course it's ads. I like that, man. I'm pretty happy with that one. That looks pretty pretty good.